So we're having a fun day in Tel Aviv, or in the middle of the country, and we came to a place called Stone Age. I just want to show you because it's magnificent. I just walked in the door. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, look at this one. Look at that. Nice. It's an amethyst, it says. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to stop this here because I'm going to go run around and take a look at things and see what they have. So, good morning. So I think it's around maybe 7:38 in the morning. I'm in Nachlamud with the dogs. I took my son down to the intersection. He's working in Corsi, which I think is just so uh, there's like ironic, but not in a funny way. I don't know. It's just funny because I was just there about a week ago. I was talking about it in one of the videos when I did that. I did a round in the Golan. I went and visited my artist friend and my daughter's pub, and then I was like filming all day, and then I went by Corsi. And I filmed there and I kind of said what happened there. And I think it's just kind of ironic. I just think it's funny that my son is working there, because that's a place where uh, Jesus did the miracle with the man that was dwelling in the cave that was possessed. Something's going over. Right over. Sounds like. I'm in the middle of this valley, so let's see what goes over. Like something is going to, oh, right there. It's going right over the top of an airplane. So it's where he cast a whole bunch of demons out of a man that was dwelling in the cave, and then they went into a herd of pigs, and the pigs were run down into the Sea of Galilee. So I just think it's kind of ironic because my son he's 16, and he is a sweetheart, but he is going through, he has all sorts of, I guess you would call them demons. I just think it's funny. I just think it's kind of funny. But don't we all? I mean, I love my son. I'm just saying we all have things that we're working on. So I just want to tell about yesterday. We had such a good time. It was such a fun day. Yesterday, I went with my twin to Tel Aviv area. But on the way, we went to an Arab village and picked up. He has somebody that makes his pottery for him, that it's been for generations, hundreds of years. His family has been making pottery with the same system. They actually make it with burning wood, and so he one of the things that he sells are these. They're not ceramic. They're made out of clay, like clay. Kadim, like pots for water that you put the water in, and then you drink the water from the clay pots because it brings like the energy of the ground back into the water. It like makes the water alive. It you'd have to read about it. I don't want to go into it, but it basically it causes circulation within the water, within there's it brings the water back to life, tap water, and brings it back into the vibration of the earth because the pots are in the earth. So the pots are made of earth. And so anyway, we went to the Arab village and we picked up the pots, and then we took them to the store that ordered them from him and dropped them off. And it was a really nice store, like a eco-friendly store. They're in Tel Aviv area. I think it was in Tel Aviv or Ramat Gan, but it's right there. If I find it, I'll put a link to the store. They do online. They sell online. They have all sorts of things, like they eco-friendly things like bamboo toothbrushes and diapers that you wash, and pads that you wash, and like diva cups, and just all sorts of things. They have things that you make sprouts from, the natural soaps, essential oils. I got some incense, and we had a ice cream, and he got some essential oil there from there. Really nice place. And then we went to a place called Stone Age, and there I filmed a little bit, and I'll add it into this. I filmed just a little bit when I walked in because it was just magnificent. It's a massive store. I think that was in Ramat Gan. A massive store just full of all sorts of crystals and stones, and fossils, and it was just all sorts of things. Really nice place. And we spoke with the owners of the store, and and um, and they explained a little bit about the geology, and the woman there, the wife. It's a wife and a husband, and so the husband comes from like a background of geology, and the wife, she more of a spiritual around the crystals and the stones, and she wrote some books on it. But that was really interesting. It's called Stone Age. It was we were there for at least a couple of hours, because my twin, he makes these, which are organites, and he uses natural stones. See, there's that spiral here, and he uses like stones and crystals to make them. He makes it also with the magnets, and different layers of different metals. So it has an effect. You can feel the effect. I'll put a link to his Organite site too, so you can see the different ones that he makes. Um, and so there was all sorts of things there that we were looking at, and that we were sorting, and that we picked up. And then on the way back, it took us a while to get back because there was quite a bit of traffic on the way back, because we left out of there. It must have been around 5 or 6, something like that. And then we went to a natural spring on the way back, and there was a watermelon field behind the spring. So at the spring, we got in the water, and then I think that the field was already abandoned. It was already picked, and so I found a couple of little watermelons like this size. From what he said, they're grown for seeds, so they're going to be full of seeds. But I have like a couple of watermelons that are like hand size, that were already, because they leave like the the watermelons that they can't use. They just leave them in the field. So I got a couple of watermelons. I'll see how they are today. And then we got back, it must have been 9 o'clock. We left at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we got back at 9 o'clock in the evening. And that was like such a super fun day. Oh, and after we went and picked up the pottery from the Arab village, we went also into an Arab village, and we had a hummus at a restaurant. It was really fun, really fun, just a super fun day. And I can see how this this twin flame journey, it's all about balancing out the energy, because after spending so many hours, with him one on one, I can see that at the end of the day, it's the energy is like dense. There's like yeah, when I left, it's like I needed to breathe a little bit, and I still feel like now, to like right now this morning, it's like when we're together, the energy is intense. There's an intense energy, and it's fun. And it's like, how do I explain this? I don't even know if I have words to explain it. I think that anybody that understands, it's like when you meet with there's like this energy that is like, you have to balance out the energy. and there's like a flow. It's like a flow that is in synchronicity with your twin. It's like this flow that go. It's like a ping pong. It goes back and forth, um, and through the twins. It's like a spiral, and the synchronicities are so intense, and the energy is at a very, very high level. We had conversations there that was just super interesting. He's just something else, and when you let yourself go into these energies, they kind of create their own life. And when we were sitting at the hummus place, there were a couple of people there was these two men that came in, and they were sitting at the table next to us, and my twin struck up a conversation with them, and it was really amazing when you see how real magic works, or when you start seeing how when you get into the flow, it flows. So he's having this conversation with the one guy, and he asked him, he says, oh, well, because they were saying something, I don't remember what sparked it, but he said, I'm not even going to try to remember. And he said, my twin asked him, well, what do you do? And he said, you'd never be able to guess or know what I do. And so my twin said to him, and he said, I'll give you $1 million if you guess what I do, because you'll never be able to guess, or you'll never be able to find out. It was like, not guess, but find out. You can't know what I do, like, just like that. And then my twin said, well, what if I tell you that I will know and you won't give me the $1 million, even though I do find out? And the guy started laughing, and not 2 seconds later, the other guy at the table told my twin exactly what the guy does. And then he said, you see, I know what you do now. And you're not going to give me the $1 million. And there was so much in that, because real magic works like that. That's how real magic works. Sometimes it does dawn on you, and sometimes, but real magic is that circumstances reveal to you what you want to know, or what if you are, see, I just got a that's real magic, right? But it comes through the real world, right? But it comes in to give you signs. So real magic flows on this meimad, plane. So real magic will come to you through the physical world, right? And then you'll say, "Oh, that wasn't magic because that just came through on the physical plane." Okay, you can see how it came through, but that doesn't make a difference. It's still a magical flow, because when you look back at your life and how circumstances happen to bring you exactly to where you're at, sometimes it's just like mind blowing. Sometimes things come out of the ethers and they just like show up in your life and you just know something. A lot of times you just know something, or you're in sync with somebody, you know exactly what they're going to say, and they say it. And you could just say, okay, it's because I know that person. But sometimes it's so eerie that the hair on, like, if I had hair on my back, it would be standing up. Like, you can feel the hair on the back of your neck standing up. You get goosebumps. Sometimes things are so eerie. What I've been understanding on this journey is that that I'm also going through spirals. And so sometimes I go through, like, yesterday was a really intense day, and I didn't film anything except for that little thing at the see it's the way I see it is that there's like an intense going through life, and then there's I'll have like a couple days where just all of the conclusions start flowing through. I start having all of these like premonitions and understandings, and um, everything start that first I go through things, and then I slowly start processing them, processing, and that's when, like, I can have a few days where I have nothing to say and I don't feel like I have anything of value to say. Like, this video is basically, I'm just updating and telling you what happened yesterday and how fun it was and what we did. And I feel like I'm still almost like in it. I still feel like I'm like in recovery of it is, but it's not recovery. It's like I'm still in the process of processing what happened yesterday and how and what we did. The energy is still dense, and by the end of the day I could feel that the energy was dense. It was like it's like a cup that gets all the way full and then it starts flowing over, and you have to like pull back a little bit and kind of make space to process everything. That it's like holding a really, really high vibration all day, and then I need to pull back a little bit to give myself breathers. And I could also see on my twin the same effect. Kind of like at the end of the day, it was enough. It was like, okay, this energy, and it was a really long day, and we were together intense for 12 hours one on one. A lot of times when we're together, especially if we're together like a long time, there's somebody else there in the middle. We'll be with a friend, or we'll be, you know, there'll be something else there that breaks the cycle. It's kind of like I've been on this magnetism thing lately. That guy in Florida, because I did a video and I talked about that guy in Florida that I keep on forgetting his name, Ed something or other. But that's just because I don't remember names very well. I remember there's certain things that I don't remember, and that I don't really make an effort to remember because they don't feel like they're the important part of the story, like names. But he made that garden, the like something castle, and moved these massive stones. If you Google it, you can find it. He moved these massive stones all on his own, and he wrote 3 books. And one of them was a book about magnetism. I've talked about this before, and I've been kind of obsessing about it lately because according to his theory, everything has energy flow in it. And it's the same thing with and some kids said that he moved these massive stones with these little cone things, like he just lifted them like they were nothing. And in his book, his theory, he writes that everything has energy running through it. And if you can tap into that energy and understand that energy, that you can move anything. And in ancient Egypt, there's so many things, so many ancient knowledge that we, through wars and massacres and, the killing off, humanity is, dark side, or it's not even a dark side. Through killing all, through wars and things like that, there's ancient knowledge that has just been taken out of the world for generations that we still don't know, like how they made those pyramids exactly. There's all sorts of theories, but also in ancient Egypt, they found those little cones. They found tons of little cones, especially in the workmen's graves. They found these little cones with inscriptions on them talking about building the pyramids. And I think also in Australia or South Africa, where they have those, where they also have like Stonehenge. They also have them here up in the Golan. They have them all over the place. Those round, circular like stones that are standing with the and even till today, they don't quite know what they did. There was some kind of sundial, some kind of ancient energy. I know that I've seen documentaries where they go into the middle of those stone circles with like magnet, something that limdod measures, something that measures like magnetism or electromagnetic field, and they start or compasses, and they start going in circles. It's like there's some kind of effect there, some kind of electromagnetic effect, and they think that maybe they had to do with crystals. Some of the stones that those circles are made of are stones that were brought from great distances. Like on that, there's this one island that has all those big faces facing, and that have barely any agriculture or trees or anything. That they think that they were agri like the um, that the inhabitants of the island. It's like an island with these big massive faces. I don't remember the name of it. Um, but they think that a lot of the stone that they find on these islands are stone that was brought in that has special tone to it. Like if you touch it, you can ding. It has like a ringing to it, and so there were ancient technologies that were lost and that we don't understand today. And so I have like this obsessive, yeah, that's the upside of addiction. When you have an addictive personality, which I do, there's so many strengths. It's like a superpower when it's channeled down the right channel. And so this is something that I've gotten into before, that I've tried to figure out, like, what is this magnetic, um, this like energy that you can use, because I feel energies. I feel that they're, in different realms, right? In between people, there's energies, and you can, if you speak the language of energy, you understand this. But there, it goes deeper, and so I'm trying to understand it. Or I'm going through another phase where it's really super interesting to me, and I'm starting to watch all sorts of videos on it and stuff. Um, why did I get into that? I was going to talk about something about that. I was watching these couple of videos, these YouTube videos that were talking about the guy in Florida that moved those massive boulders, and the same thing happened in ancient Egypt. And he wrote a little pamphlet, and I'm going to try to read that pamphlet and understand it. But I saw somebody that read it and understood it, and actually uh, made a couple of videos on how he put the energy into, if you put the energy into like a closed circle, it'll perpetually go around the circle. Like if you magnetize. So he did like a circle of bolts together, in a circle, and he charged them with like electromagnetic something or other, and they stayed together. He showed it. It was really interesting. So I'm into that now. I don't remember what I was going to say about that, but that's something that I'm getting really interested in. I also want to make some organites. Yesterday, when I was at that crystal shop, I found some little crystals and powders that I really like, and I want to pick up things from nature and make some organites. I actually want to sculpt the shape of the organite, and make a mold with I have in my mind some ideas, and then I want to pick up some things from nature that I feel, energetic, that have energetic weight to them, because a lot of times you can find something and it just draws you in. You know that there's like it has some kind of energy to it. So, and I also want to figure out how to make that cycle of energy, because he showed how the bolts, he could just pick them up like this, and as long as you don't break that the circulation of the energy within the bolts, they stick together like a magnet. Once you like tap it with another metal or something and break the circulation, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know how you call it. Um, then it loses its power. It goes, but I'm thinking if you put it into an organite, which this is like there's a resin here, and you put it in and you lock that perpetual energy that's going around in a circle, and you put it in an organite, you lock it in there to where it can't be broken. And I'm thinking, what kind of effect would that magnetism have? Because it's kind of like a portal. You're putting this energetic, circular, perpetual magnetic field closed into, it's closed off into an organite where the field can't be broken, but the energy is still in there, going. And the guy that did the tests, he was showing how you could test it and see that it was in there. And then he took one of those things that he made and he put it on the wall for 2 years. And he made a video where he took it off the wall and he tapped it to break the circulation. And when he tapped it, it lit a little light bulb, It went ching and lit a little light bulb, and then it was dispersed. Like he broke the cycle. But if you put it in an organite, you lock it in there, and there is nothing that can break the cycle. And then let's say if you wear it or you use it on your chakras, that energy, it has to have some kind of effect, because we are also, we're made of water and iron and all sorts of things in our body. Also, the energy of it, it's like having something that is in constant movement. So I feel like I'm still in the process of kind of intaking everything. I kind of have to sit in this and not disperse the energy. I kind of feel like I can't really talk about yet. Like I don't have the conclusions yet about the whole day that I did yesterday, that we were on yesterday. It was very intense, intense good, intense good. But by the end of the evening, it was kind of like you're held in this high flying vibration all day. It has an effect. It's like to breathe. I need to breathe. And so I think that I'm kind of like, it's kind of like going into hibernation. It's like a whole bunch of really high energy, and then I need to go into like a little bit of resolve, a little bit of like letting everything sink in, letting the energy sink in. And from what I've been noticing about myself, the patterns in myself is that I go through these high energetic times. I'm out doing, and then there's settling point, and then all of a sudden, like the floodgates open, and all of a sudden all of this inspired channeling comes through. So it's kind of like go through a stage of intake and output, intake and output. And right now I'm kind of like in the stage of intake, letting it settle a little bit, and a little bit of like Vipassana time, because I don't feel like in this video, this is kind of like an updating video, I don't feel like I really have all of this high and mighty insight here, except for what I'm saying is like insight that I don't have insight, and kind of seeing the spirals in it and the patterns of it. Making these videos is doing me a lot of good. So I'm finding like the patterns in also the patterns in him and I, how much we can be together and actually hold that energy together without it getting like stuck. It's being able to hold the spiral of energy that's between us together, being together intensely. When you're quiet in nature, you start hearing things. Things are moving. And that now is high snake season, so as long as I'm making noise, the smartest thing to do is when you go through nature, kind of make noise so you don't get up on it, you don't come up on something and surprise it. Because if you're making noise, they're going to be getting out of your way. They don't want interaction with you for the most part. Because we're not, to snakes, we're not food to them. They're not going to eat us. So they just want to kind of stay out of our way if they know we're coming. So I'm just going to let all of this sink in and allow myself to be. If something comes up, I'll talk about it. I kind of feel like also I've been still understanding on how just letting go and getting into the flow and allowing things to come up as they come up, getting into this natural flow, and faith. I have like this real strong faith in God, understanding, a faith that comes through the understanding that I am divine. We are all divine. We're all of this universe. and we're all part of this nature, and we're all have purpose, and and are divinely guided. There is no separation between me and anything else. There is no separation. So when I completely understand this, I understand that there's providence, and that through watching nature, I can see that everything happens exactly as it's supposed to happen always. Even the parts of going through the disconnect to finding the connection back. That's all just happening divinely, and that I can just kind of let go and get into the flow, and let nature take its course, and it'll take me to where I need to be. And that is the divinity of it all, just letting go and getting into the flow, and not when I get in the way and try to think, if I think that I'm separate from everything and think that I have to make everything happen, then that's when I start messing up the divinity of everything. And also, but there was another thing that was coming through just now. But okay, when I get in the middle of everything and try to make everything happen, then I mess up the divinity of it all. And there was something else that was coming through right there with that. Oh, that wherever I don't have clarity are the places that I'm still rising. So as long as if you like, I'm always thinking, how will I know when I arrive? First of all, there is no place to arrive, because we're always evolving and always growing. But the places that, let's say, the places that I don't have clarity in, where I still feel like there's a little bit of fogginess. See, the thing is, the places where there's fogginess, a lot of times we don't even know that there's fogginess there because of the fogginess. We don't realize what we don't know. It's places that we're still asleep in. Like as I'm looking back on my life, there's so many things that now I do purposefully, like take care of my body, or there's things that I used to just like, oh, yeah, do like half-assed. And now I realize that those were the places that I didn't have the clarity. Even if I knew, in my mind, I knew that I needed to take care of my body, but I was still obese. It's places that you're still sleeping in. It's places that there's still fogginess, are the places that I want to bring my life power to and bring energy into, and not try to, a lot of it's not trying to force yourself to understand those things, but rather asking for clarity in those places. Just just realizing that there you don't have clarity in those places, and requesting from the universe, okay, there's a place here that I don't have clarity. I'd like some clarity, and then you let it go, and then it's amazing how quickly clarity comes into those places when you let them go, and you're not trying to overthink it with yourself or try to figure it out with yourself. You just, in the knowing, okay, this is a place that I would like to have clarity, that I don't feel like I have clarity right now. And you request from God, the ethers, the universe, like, bring me clarity in these places, and you let it go. And then, and in the letting it go, and knowing that you want clarity in those places, you create a cycle. You create a cycle of life. And so then, as you let it go and you allow your mind and your being just to be out in nature or wherever you are, then the answers will come to you, because there is a subconscious knowing that you're searching for an answer in this place. If you're searching for it and you're trying to make it happen, then you're in your mind, and your mind is limited. Your mind is limited to what you already know, and your mind is limited to, and you don't know. Obviously, you don't know. Otherwise, you would have clarity in these places. So you're limited to what you already know, and you're trying to find out something within the space of the already known to you. And it's not known to you. So you have to let it go and allow new knowledge to come in. So once you ask for clarity, speak it. I would like clarity in this place. I would like clarity to understand this, just like with the energetic field. I would like clarity on the energetic field, how that spiral of energy works. And then you let it go, and it comes back to you, and it comes back to you so quick, just like that magic in the home shop that we had. it comes back to you from places that you would never expect it to come. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, you see something in nature, you see something that happened, and it's just like, oh, it dawns on you. That's the spiral. And clarity comes in like steps. Sometimes it can come all at once, and then you just like that, you have this knowing of something that you were looking for. Or sometimes it comes in steps, like okay, this is, you have like this internal knowing. Okay, this is connected to the energy thing. So you have one more piece of the puzzle, and you slowly start getting, it's like building steps. You slowly start getting pieces of the puzzle start showing up to you from all different places. It's just really interesting. And we were watching videos on the way back, like we were watching tarot card readings and people that were channeling. Interesting. It was like so spot on. It was so spot on. We're both Virgo. Him and I, we were born a day apart. And the people that we were watching were so spot on with everything that we're going through, that it's anymore, at first it was just like mind blowing every time. Anymore, I just understand that there is a magnetic field, energetic field, that we are all connected to energetically, and we are from, there's tribes. And our tribe is connected to the same magnetic field or the same energy field. And what I'm going through is the same thing that there's so many people around the world going through, but it's hitting them in different ways in their lives. So we're going through the same energies, we're going through the same, there's the same causes, but it has different effects in each and every one of our lives because each and every one of us is different. And we are in different places, going through different things. So it touches us, and you can tell that energetically it feels the same, like it's the same energy, but it's just having a different effect. So I got back to where my car is. I'm going to end this here. If there's some kind of big aha moment that I have, I'll record and make more videos. I kind of feel like this video is just kind of like an update of what's going on with me, kind of like a vlog sort of thing, like, oh yeah, I was here, I was there. Don't eat that, come on, kish. Gross. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.